The common denominator between art and music and science is that I love to create. My name is Vaughn. I'm a neuroscientist and musical artist based here in wonderful Houston, Texas. When I was 16, I went to a high school science day, and Dr. David Eagleman spoke about neuroscience and how this beautiful, vivid reality that we're all experiencing comes from this 3-pound wet thing in your head. And I thought that was so cool, and I've never stopped doing neuroscience research since. I originally got interested in both because I was interested in neuroscience and music, and it wasn't until I got older that I realized that both of those can make a real difference for people and how they're living their lives. I think drugs and therapy and everything it's been effective at dealing with mental diseases, but it's only so effective, and there's a lot of people that it doesn't reach and that don't get remission for what they're dealing with. In that vein, I've just developed an app called Chatterbaby, which is the world's largest database of infant vocalizations that we're collecting from volunteers all around the nation. And what we're doing is we're taking that infant speech and whatever moods that the babies are in to learn what kind of baby talk means what kind of emotional state. So if you're deaf and your baby's in another room, you really have no way of knowing what their mood state is. So the app is really directed at categorizing and figuring out what the mood state is of the baby so that the parent and the child can stay connected even when they're in different places. I hadn't really realized it until recently, but I think about music not just from an emotional perspective, but also from my science training. As neuroscience will tell you, if you give 2 sensory stimuli at the same time, you get a much more powerful brain response. So I said, oh, well, if we're gonna play music, we should also have the lights perfectly synced up. So that's what my show ended up turning into. I never had an experience that told me I could have it all. And I think that's a really good thing because my parents did such a wonderful job of giving me the perspective that you can have it all, and it never occurred to me that you couldn't. Houstonians are so creative. I mean, there is such a vibrant art scene here, and sometimes people say, oh, well, Austin really is where the art's at. And I'm like, well, I don't think so. I mean, here in Houston, all my different styles of performances and all these unique combinations, Houston's willing to try it out. We'll take a chance, and that's why we are the most successful city in the US. The people who are successful spent so many hours you never saw getting where they were. So don't fret and keep trying and you'll get there. And when you make it to the top, just have the grace to remember that a lot of people are really trying to get there too, and it took you a long time. So be sweet to everybody.